What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. This video is going to be all of my secrets to super natural and flawless makeup. Some might call this the no makeup type of look. I get so many questions on my channel to do this tutorial pretty much every single week that I wanted to bring this to you guys. I'm gonna be taking you through all of my favorite products and also my little makeup techniques that I use to get a very natural, flawless look, almost to the point where people might not be able to tell that you are wearing makeup. So if you wanna hang out and get ready with me, see how I got this look, keep on watching because I'm about to dish all of my secrets. All right, party people, we are getting into it. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I will link all the products that I use that I mentioned in this video in the description box down below. I do use affiliate links, so shopping through my links is a great way to support my channel. Thank you to all of you guys who've been shopping through my links. Very much appreciate it. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sophia, and I am a complete beauty addict. I upload videos every single week, so if you love new makeup reviews, if you love tips and tutorials like this, ranking videos, then you're in the right place, my friend. Hit that subscribe button to join our fam. And without further ado, let's get into this get ready with me. I'm gonna start off first with a glowy base. A lot of times if I'm doing kind of like a no makeup look, or I wanna be super natural, or if I want to just wear less makeup, I find that using kind of like a glowy primer or a glowy base of some kind really helps to just blur the skin, blur any kind of imperfections, any kind of dark circles. There's a lot that I like. I really like the Chanel Le Beige one. I really like the Arc Glow Lush. I really like the Victoria Beckham Augustinus Botter Primer. In fact, I actually have a whole video comparing and ranking all these types of products, so I can link that down below if you guys want a bit of a shopping guide. But the one that I'm gonna be using today is one that I recently got. This actually was gifted to me, but this is not sponsored. This is the RMS Supernatural Radiance Serum. This is actually kind of like a makeup primer, but it's also a sunscreen, and it has a very pearly, glowy look to it. It comes in 3 colors. I actually do have a 20% off coupon code for the entire RMS site, so I'll just mention that now because I pretty much forget to mention it every single time I use the RMS products in my videos. Many times, in fact, the other day, I didn't wear any foundation at all on top of this. I just wore this and then the concealer that I'm gonna show you guys a little bit later. And I really didn't feel like I needed foundation. A lot of you guys have mentioned that in the other videos where I've used this product. A lot of you have said, Sophie, I don't even think you really needed foundation after using that product. And I have to agree, like I feel pretty confident just going out with this. This has been my go-to Saturday, Sunday, I'm going for a walk, I need to put my sunscreen on, but I don't want to wear makeup type of product. I'm actually really interested in maybe picking up one of the deeper shades in this product because I think it would add a nice little like glowy tan to my skin. Do I recommend mixing this with foundation? I don't think so, friends. I would recommend, using this as a sunscreen, applying it as directed. I guess you could mix it, but I don't know. I just think this works better when you lay it down as a base and make sure you get all the coverage that you need. If you are looking for something that you can mix with your foundation, I would recommend some of the ones that I have in that ranking video that I just mentioned. So check that video out. This is a little bit, I think, better to use either on its own as a sunscreen / makeup product or layered underneath foundation, which is what I'm gonna do in this video. So this is what it looks like when it's all over the face, blended in. I really like to get it right here under the eyes because I feel like, once again, I don't have to put as much concealer on, and that's the part of my face that I'm like the most self-conscious about. Now, when it comes to foundation, I feel like this is the part where everybody's looking for something natural that still makes them look beautiful and flawless. I want to share with you guys my top 3 favorite natural foundations. First off, I really love the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Tint. If you've never tried this product before, you got to go to like a local boutique or Saks or department store and definitely check it out. It's such an interesting product. I'll put a little bit on my hand right here. I actually have a review of this and the complexion touch as well that I can link down below. It's, I think, like 80% or 75% water. It's mostly like a skincare serum. And then in the serum, hopefully you can see it, there's these little globs of pigment. And when you mix it onto your hand, the pigment bursts and it deposits onto your face, and then it kind of dries down to a beautiful, dewy, supple type of glow. It doesn't give a ton of coverage, okay? It doesn't give a ton of coverage. So a lot of people like it because it's just a hint, and that works for plenty of people. I want to recommend something with a little bit more coverage, and that is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. This recently came out. I've been showing it in a lot of my videos. I really, really like it. It has a very hydrating and skin-like texture, but it's got way, way more coverage than the Chanel Water Fresh tint. And then my final favorite, which is the one I'm going to be putting on my face today, is another. This is like a holy grail for me. It's the Chantecaille Future Skin Foundation. This looks so dewy and natural on the skin. A lot of you guys have asked me, how do I get it out of the jar? Sometimes I'll scoop some out, or sometimes I will take a firm little brush like this. This one's from BK Beauty. I'll link the brushes that I use down below as well. I'll just scoop a bunch out, and then I kind of spread it across my hand, and you can see that gorgeous gel texture. I would say this is, in terms of coverage, maybe like between the Chanel Water Fresh tint and the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. It has a beautiful translucency to it, and I think that's key for natural makeup, because nobody looks completely natural if they're wearing like super full coverage makeup, and that's okay. I like that look as well. But if you're going for natural, I think being able to see, you know, your freckles shine through, maybe some of the natural coloration of your skin shining through, that's when you look naturally perfected, and that's what you get from this foundation. I'm like almost done, guys. That's how much I use this foundation. I love it so, so much. And with all of these foundations, I recommend using a brush that is a little bit denser. When you're using a more liquidy formula, you don't want the formula like going into the brush. I'm not really a sponge person as well. I find that with sponges, they kind of eat up these products, and they're very expensive, so I don't want to waste them. My other favorite brush to use with these products is this one from IT Cosmetics. This one is limited edition, but they have other versions or very similar brushes that I will link down below. It's flat and it's dense, so you can dip it into the liquidy product and then kind of like stamp it on the face. And that's the best way to not get any streaking. And as I mentioned, to not have your brush or your sponge like completely eat up half of your expensive product that you saved up to buy. Now we're going to talk about my favorite natural concealers. One of them I think is a little bit more expected, and then the other one I think is really going to surprise you guys. So the first one is the Jones Road The Face Pencil. I recently have been doing a lot of Jones Road reviews for you guys, and in my little like roundup video, I told you that I really like this product. The other product I want to show you guys is kind of the same thing, but more precise. These are those Makeup Forever, what are these called? The Artist Color Pencils. And I have the shade 500 Boundless Bisque. Let me swatch this so you can see it. It's basically the same shade as my skin. And if we are a different skin tone, don't worry, friends, because these come in like a million colors. They have deeper shades. In fact, they might even have a lighter shade than this, but this is the one that matches my skin tone the best. Many times, like I will just use that RMS sunscreen and then this, and I will very precisely conceal just the most red, just like the teeniest little bits of imperfections around my face. And then my boyfriend will be like, are you wearing makeup? Like he cannot tell. So let me show you what I do. So first off, I like to conceal right around here. My eyes do get a little bit red. Go around, sometimes like around the brow bone, ever so slightly, little imperfections. See how I have some discoloration right there? I go like that, and it's gone. Maybe like around the nose, just a little bit, just a little bit. You can even use this as a concealer on little blemishes and stuff. I didn't put that much on. I will carry this around in my handbag. I also use this if I'm doing lipstick, a matte lip, a bold lip. I will use this to kind of perfect the lip line, almost like anti-lip lining. It's like more around the lip line. I'll use this for little cleanups, touch-ups, anything like that. And then the Jones Road Face Pencil, I'll use this more for like actual, like how I normally would use a concealer, but I'm not gonna put as much on. I basically just put a little bit right there and then I might put, you know, a little bit right here to kind of lift the eyes, but it's the same concept where I just kind of draw it on where I have the most redness, where I have the most discoloration. And yeah, sometimes I just put on a glowy base and then I'll do maybe either one of these, maybe both. I walk out the door and I feel way more confident than if I didn't do any of it, that's for sure. And I will mention, friends, like, I'm doing a lot of steps here, but it's kind of for the purpose of this tutorial. Sometimes I do one of these things, sometimes I do all of them, sometimes I do half of them. It's just kind of like me demonstrating all of the tips and tricks that I have. So if this seems like a lot for like a no makeup look, just know, like, when I'm in a rush, I don't do all these steps. It's really just for the purposes of this video. Now that we're looking naturally perfected, I am going to be going in with bronzer. One bronzer that I really like that I actually reviewed for you guys very, very recently. It goes super well with the Chantecaille Future Skin foundation because they're basically the same texture. It's the Jones Road, the gel bronzer. This is so beautiful and natural in skin. Like, it's not shimmery or glowy at all, but I still think it gives a really nice natural glow to the skin. I can link that review down below if you guys want to check that out, because that actually is not the product I'm going to be using today. There's another favorite I want to share with you guys, and this one, once again, like the Makeup Forever pencil, is a little bit more unexpected. This is the Chanel Water Fresh Tint Blush in the shade Deep Bronze. It is marketed as a blush. This is the deepest color that you can buy. I feel like this is a little bit of a scary color for those of us out there that have fair skin, but I've showed you guys this before. I know I have a lot of new subscribers, that's why I want to do it again. I've showed you guys this little trick before, and so many of you have picked up this blush and you use it for the same purpose. I like to use this as a bronzer. Well, I like to use it as a blush too, but sometimes I use it as a bronzer. So that's what it looks like on the back of my hand. It is a bronze color, but it has a little bit of sort of a tawny nature to it. It's actually the very same color as that tawny Miracle Balm from Jones Road, except I like this a lot better. I don't really like the Jones Road Miracle Balms. So I prefer to use this. So I just take a little bit and I spread it all over the face. And I like that these are not greasy. They are water-based. They don't have a lot of oils in them, so they're not going to slip and slide all over your face. I know I'm going to be using a lot of cream products in this video, but I don't want you to think that you're going to be like a grease ball at the end of the video. Definitely not. Definitely not. Like, this is some of the best liquid products that you can use if you are kind of like afraid of cream products, if you don't really enjoy that texture, but you still want that kind of like natural look that you get from them. I think that because this has a little bit of like that tawny undertone, I don't know, it kind of looks like I'm naturally flushed. You can definitely build this product up, but this is what it looks like when I have just a very sheer wash of color all over my face. I feel like it looks very natural. I instantly have a lot more color to my face than I did before with just the foundation. I do want to show you guys a new blush favorite actually that I just picked up. I've been testing these out for the past couple of days. These are the Phytosurgence blushes. When I did my cream blush ranking video, a ton of you guys were commenting in the comments section and saying, Sophia, you need to try the Phytosurgence blushes. So I ordered like 4 or 5 of them, and I want to talk about them in this video because they're so natural and beautiful. I understand why you all recommended them to me. The one that I have right here is called Swelter. I will swatch it for you. And I know that this looks like a scary color and you're like, why are you including this in a natural makeup video? But if you are light-handed with this shade, it looks so beautiful. It looks like a really natural romantic flush. They have a lot of nude shades as well. They're so good. They're based out of Canada, I think, and they do ship to the US, and I think they ship to Australia as well. And I like to use these with the Sonia G Sheer Buffer. I usually just like dip it like I kind of let the little long fibers here just gently pierce the blush because these can be pretty pigmented, and then I will sort of share it across both of the cheeks and build it up. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how that's just a little bit of a natural flush? This is very similar to the undertone of my natural redness. It's just like in a prettier way. Obviously, it's not gonna be as blotchy. There's a lot of other like really good natural blushes out there as well. The Chanel Water Fresh ones, so good. I also like the Chantecaille gel ones as well. And then you guys can check out my cream blush ranking video because there's a lot of good ones in that video. But I really wanted to show these blushes because it is an indie brand and I think they're so good and I'm really excited that I discovered them. For highlighter, I instantly knew which one I wanted to feature. It is the RMS Living Luminizer. This product has been around for a very long time. This specific one was gifted to me, but I have used these up in the past. This has been kind of like a long time favorite. Whenever I want something very natural that just gives me that natural glow, kind of like luminescence, I go for this. This is a cream product. It's going to be a little bit, you know, dewier than like a Chanel Water Fresh tint and obviously a powder highlighter, but it's so pretty. There's not a lot of pigment to it. It's all about the sheen that it gives. Let me swatch it right here. And when you blend it out, it's not as icy. So I like to apply this usually with my fingers, and I just put a little bit right on the top there. This is the kind of highlighter where when you first put it on, you're like, oh, I don't know, is it doing anything? And then later in the day, if you just like catch your cheekbone in a bathroom, kind of turn to the side, you catch yourself in the studio mirrors, you're like, ooh, I look so glowy and natural. By the way, friends, if you are new here, I film in natural light, so I waited for a nice sunny day so we could really see everything for this natural makeup look in natural light. You also can use a brush with this if you don't like using your fingers or you want, you know, you feel like you have more control with the brush. You guys might have noticed I'm using this little BK Beauty brush for so many of the products in this video. It really is a do everything brush. So once again, I'll link it down below. I feel like I keep saying that, but everything will be linked down below. Which brushes I use. A lot of times I will use this for the Phytosurgence blushes. Many of you have told me that this is your favorite cream blush brush. I kind of switch between this one and the bigger BK Beauty 101. You see that, Jean? It's so beautiful. This also does come in other shades. I think they have one that's called like Champagne Luminizer. They have ones that come in like deeper and peachier shades. So you can check that out on the RMS website. For eyeshadow, if you want something that is very natural that lasts all day, might I recommend to you the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeshadow sticks. I've been mentioning this in a lot of videos because I put this in a lot of favorites, but I want to demonstrate for you guys today what I like to do specifically with these two colors. The eyeshadow sticks from Victoria Beckham were gifted to me. Once again, they are not sponsored. The shade that I want to show you guys specifically for this video is the shade Trench. It's a very boring shade. It's just a light brown, but this is the best natural eyeshadow base. So I just kind of scribble it all over the eye, and then you can use your finger or you can use a brush, which is what I'm about to do. This is one of those Sonia G Fusion eye brushes, really great for cream and liquid products. I basically just use this as a extremely natural base that covers all of the little lines and veins on my eyelids that I don't really like because I'm so pale. It's a little bit darker than my skin tone, so it neutralizes everything. And she has another shade in the line called Pecan or Pecan, however you prefer to pronounce that word. That one's darker, so if you have a deeper skin tone, you're going to want to get that shade. And these don't crease. They literally, they don't crease, they don't transfer. In fact, remember, we swatched it on my hand like a second ago. It doesn't move. It doesn't move. So you have to do one eye at a time. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit on the lower lash line as well. The other shade that I use a lot from the Victoria Beckham eyeshadow sticks is the shade Oyster. This is a beautiful shimmery shade. There's not as much opacity to it. I use it more so as a topper. So I know that this is supposed to be more of like a no makeup look, but if you want to add a little bit of shimmer, if you're like me and you need your shimmer, you're a magpie, I will put that right on the ball of the eye and I'll tap it in. See how it just adds a little bit more dimension? It's almost like a highlight. It mimics the natural sheen of like freshly cleansed skin, so it doesn't look too obvious. You can also put a little bit here in the inner corner, and it just instantly kind of brightens everything up in a very natural way. Two other natural eyeshadow recommendations that I have for you guys that I wear a lot on my channel and that you guys seem to really like are, number one, the liquid eyeshadows from Lisa Eldridge. This is specifically in the shade Cressida. It's the only shade that I have. I wear it all the time, and you guys always love it whenever I have it on in videos. So right here is the Liquid Lyrics from Lisa Eldridge in the shade Cressida, and then here was that shade Oyster from Victoria Beckham. The Victoria Beckham one is a little bit more muted and cool toned, and then Cressida is a lot shinier and brighter, but you can sheer it out and apply it in layers. It makes a super good one and done shadow. And then I also have here, this is a newer addition to my collection. This is one of those YSL Mini Couture clutch palettes, specifically in the shade Spontini Lilies. This is just, it's so natural. Like, it looks so beautiful and effortless. It's super duper quick. I put this on yesterday because I just couldn't be bothered to do like a crazy, you know, good makeup look or whatever. I wanted something quick. And I was like, you know what? I gotta mention this one as well. Before we go in with mascara, I am going to lightly do my brows. I feel like no matter what makeup I do, I kind of need to have something in my brows. I like for them to be very defined. I feel more put together, more of that like crisp, put together clean girl type of look when my brows are done. I did just recently get them microbladed, and I also tinted them a little bit because I like them to be kind of dark. So I don't really need that much, but I will show you guys two products that I really like to use. The first one is the Victoria Beckham Baby Blade. This has such a small, precise tip. I'll show you guys right here. This was gifted to me by the brand, but I do really like the product. It just gives you the teeniest little hair strokes so that you can do just as much as you need. It's very quick, so I just like to kind of sharpen up the edges there, and then there's a little spoolie on the other side that you can brush it out with. And I know a bunch of you have picked this product up and you told me that you also really like it. The other thing that I have right here, which this is a little bit quicker, I would say, this is the brow pomade from Merit, and I think I have, yes, the shade Brown, especially if my brows are like recently tinted or something like that. I don't have to do that much to them. That's kind of the whole point of tinting them and also getting the microblading. So I will go through them with this product, and it kind of just sets them into place, adds like a little bit more pigment, maybe in the areas that I really need it. I'm really not much of like a natural brow type of person. That's just my aesthetic. I don't do the brushed up brow. It doesn't look right on me. It never stays in place. So you're not gonna see that in this tutorial, but I do really like these products if you wanna create something very natural. I also like the Glossier Brow Flick as well. I will use that as kind of like a liquid pen. It's the best brow pen I've ever tried. I tried to find an alternative, maybe something cheaper from the drugstore, and I just couldn't find it. But I don't feel like I need it today, so we're not going to use it, but I will link it down below. Mascara. I have two favorites to share with you guys today. The first one is the Victoria Beckham mascara. I feel like there's a lot of Victoria Beckham in this video, but it's just because her whole brand is very natural. It's very much like that natural aesthetic, so it just kind of fits the vibes of the look that we're doing today. I'll show you guys the brush here. It's very thin and tapered, and you get a really nice natural look, but you can still build it up if you want a little bit more volume. But this is one of the most like natural, kind of lengthening, fluttery types of mascaras that I have. The other one that I have here, which is actually the one we're going to use today, is the Glossier Lash Slick, and this is in the shade Brown. I never owned the brown one. I recently picked it up like this past spring, and if I'm ever doing a super natural, like no makeup type of look, this is what I go in with. I don't see that many brown mascaras on the market. It really depends on the brand, and this is one of the mascaras that I really like that's natural, that actually has the brown shade. So we're gonna just go in with that. I also feel like, just like the Victoria Beckham, this one is very buildable. If you apply it and then let it dry a little bit and then go in with another coat, you can build it up. Trust me, you definitely can. And it's the kind of mascara that has those little teeny tiny fibers in it, so it kind of gives you a little bit of extra length. Both of these mascaras, I don't know if I would necessarily call them tubing formulas, but they're the type of formula that comes off very easily with warm water, so you're not having to like rub your eyes and all of that. That's what it looks like with one coat, and that's what it looks like with nothing. It's very natural. Some people might not even be able to tell that you're wearing mascara. You just look naturally fabulous. So this is what the mascara looks like with 2 coats. I think the key to the natural look is getting a lot of separation and no clumps. That's why I love this mascara. I've been using it for years. Ironically, I also use it when I do more glam looks and I'm using fake eyelashes. I will use the Glossier Lash Slick to kind of melt or mix the fake lashes with my natural lashes, and I don't want to use something that's too clumpy and deposits a lot of product because I don't want to get all of that on the fake lash. So it's really good if you kind of want that control to mix the fake and natural lashes together, if that makes sense. Anyway, we're gonna finish things up with lips, and my top favorite that I gotta talk about are the Dior lip glows. These are the perfect slightly tinted lip balms. I feel like these look super natural because they're not too glossy, they're not too obvious. They really nourish the lips. I use these all the time. I recently discovered that these come in 25 shades. Like, I knew that there were multiple shades. I didn't know that there were 25 shades on the Dior website. So I went and picked up some new ones. I want to show you guys some of my favorites here. The first one is actually what I use to prep my lips, and I also wear this in a lot of my videos. It just adds a little bit of nourishment. And I get so many questions, what's on your lips, what's on your lips? And it's literally just this lip balm. This is the Lip Sugar Scrub. So it's not exactly a lip glow, but it's more or less the same formula. And then it has these little granules that kind of like scrub your lips, and it's super sweet and yummy because it is sugar. And then the other 2 colors I've really been loving for a natural look are number 1, Rose Gold. This is kind of like the classic pink, but then there's some shimmer to it. One of my subscribers recommended this shade to me, so I had to pick it up. I'll show you guys what this looks like. In fact, I'm not gonna rub my lips together. It just added this beautiful like dimension. It does have glitter in it, but it's very, very fine, so it kind of reflects the light and makes the lips look more hydrated, a little bit of a deeper shade, and also I think a little bit plumper. I'm gonna wipe that off though, because the shade that we're gonna use for this video is Strawberry. So here is the Strawberry shade. It looks very pigmented in the bullet, but when you swatch it, you'll see it's super duper sheer. This is kind of like the lip version of that Phytosurgeon's blush that I used earlier, where you can just use a little bit and it just adds just that little hint of color. So I'm gonna, it's such a nice lip balm. You don't need a mirror, anything like that. See how that gave me such a nice little natural tint? Like, I don't know if people would know that I was wearing a lip product. It's so incredibly natural. It's, like I said, just like the blush, it gives you just a little bit of hint of color, and then it keeps your lips super duper moisturized. There's so many fun colors in this, but I think this might be my favorite one that I've tried so far, where it doesn't look like too bright, and I feel like I have to kind of match the rest of my makeup to what is essentially a lip balm. All right, my friends, shall I do the honors of taking the clips out? This is my final look. This is kind of my go-to natural makeup. A lot of you guys have been asking for me to do this type of tutorial here on my channel, so here you go. And I feel like summer is the best time to be doing it because a lot of us just want to feel like easy breezy, natural, you know what I mean. All of those summertime vibes. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. And now it is your turn, friends. Sound off in the comments down below. Let me know, have you tried these products? Let me know if you have any questions. What are some of your favorite natural, like no makeup types of products? Do you have any secrets and tips for us? Tell us, because we would love to know. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, or head on over to my channel page for more content just like this. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.